Hi, this is Kim White with the My Sexy Business Team. I am here with the beautiful Jody Friedman, who is going to ask me her top 5 questions she wants to know from this princess.
Oh, Kim, good morning and hello to the group. I'm so excited to be interviewing you today because you are just the sweetest princess,
Oh,
Texas princess, oil princess. I don't know. I was so impressed because I went to your website and saw all the different online courses that you do. And I really, I had no idea, even though I did the first collaboration with you, I had no idea that you have so many great classes out there. So I'm going to ask you a little bit about it. But I do love the title is How to Make Your Business Sexy, Lessons from a Texas Princess. So I know that you relate through gratitude. And I wanted to ask you, since you're such a big manifester, Kim, how do you use gratitude to help your collaboration businesses?
I think gratitude is not just an attitude, but it's a lifestyle.
Mhm.
And I believe that I can be grateful for anything, even if it doesn't seem like it's good at the time. It will be turned for my good as long as I keep showing up and as long as I keep that lifestyle of gratitude. I think we have so much power in us to change history, to change our lives, to change the lives of those around us. And it really is rooted in love and being grateful for the life we have. And if it's not the life we want, because I didn't come from a sexy life, I created one. And so it took gratefulness though for what I had and gratefulness for what was going to come. I'm a big one on asking and believing I'm going to have it, and then just being grateful from that point on. We don't have to have another discussion. If I ask for it, I believe I'm going to get it. So I just don't have any more discussions. It's a done deal in my mind. And I just say thank you all the time. And I'm grateful for things in advance. I think that's another key to, like you're saying, manifesting. That's another key to getting what you want out of life is being grateful before you get there.
Well, that's so perfect because the conversations you and I have had together about manifesting, because I'm a big manifester, and even though I manifest great things, I think you take it out to the nth degree. And I was really impressed with you because when we were talking about, I rolled out this like $8 million house on in Laguna Beach that, you said, are you ready to manifest? And I said, well, wait a minute. This just came up because you told me, don't put it out there in front of you if I'm not ready to do it. And that I really love that about you, that you're so sure that all you need to know is that somebody's ready. Can you expound on that a little bit? How is your faith so strong?
I think it comes from like living that life for so many decades. Um, I lived it the wrong way. I mean, I was grateful for some things, but then I also manifested bad things by concentrating on bad things. I was afraid of, being in debt forever. So it seemed like I always got more debt because that's what I was concentrating on. Instead of concentrating on abundance, which would cure the debt, I was focusing on the wrong thing. And when I got revelation, and that's just one area, but when I got revelation of that, I don't think I've lacked a thing since. It was such a revelation that we really can have what we want, and this is not a woo woo like I want $1 million and I want to lay on the couch all day and
Bonbons.
yeah, and watch soap operas and eat bonbons. It's more a thing of that if you're not open to receiving abundance and if you're always worried about the money of something, then it's really not, it is manifesting in your life, but it's the fear that's manifesting instead of the peace about it. There's a scripture in the Bible that talks about that lots of people are wealthy, but God gives us the ability to enjoy our wealth. I don't have to worry all the time that somebody's going to come take it, because I understand the source is not what I see in the bank, and the source is not the house I'm looking at or the vehicle I'm driving. The source is so much bigger. There's plenty more where that came from.
Yeah.
And so it changes your attitude, it changes your lifestyle, it changes all that. And I was serious, you know, I'm very literal. So if you tell me that's what you're believing for, I'm going to believe with you. And if you don't believe that, don't tell me, because then I'm going to feel like you're lying to me.
Absolutely.
Because I believe it.
Well, you challenged me too, because you asked me on the last collaboration, you said, so what is your big dream and big goal? And I told you about the one that I created in January was to have 1,000 people doing a meditation with me. And so you had me look up the Guinness Book of Records amount of people that were at a meditation, and it was 33,000 on Deepak Chopra's, and you dared me to go higher. And I love that about you. And I love that about your teaching style, that you don't play around. You look into a person's soul, it seems to me, and help encourage them to be bigger and greater than they ever felt that they could before. So where did you get that from, Kim? Where does that come from in you?
I think there were so many really bad things that happened when I was young that I'm just audacious. Like I just don't believe that you can't have what you want. And I'm not afraid to ask. I believe that the only way you have a for sure no is if you don't ask. And so I've asked for a lot of crazy things in my lifetime and gotten them. You know, very rarely do I ever not get what I asked for. Sometimes I might get it later. Sometimes I might get it in a little bit different form than what I thought, but I always get what I'm asking for. So I'm very careful. I actually pray every day that I'm very careful what I choose to put my hand to, because I know it's going to be a wealthy place. It's going to be an abundant place, and it's going to prosper. So I don't want to prosper the wrong things. So I'm really careful. I'm really intentional. And it really did come from learning the hard way. I would say that's like the loudest. None of this was something that I woke up one day and said, oh, I'm going to push the easy button and that's what's going to happen. Because we all fight our minds. Our minds want to keep us in a place of fear a lot of times. And I just refuse. I refuse to live there.
That's beautiful. Well, one thing I noticed I know it's in the last 2 weeks, is that there were some pretty colorful people on your page with masks, and they were all wearing superhero costumes. And I was really curious. I saw that you did some wonderful events that helped challenge people, but tell us about the superheroes event. What was that like for you and for the people that you had with you? And I wish I could have been there.
Me too. That was in Atlanta. That was our Biz Bestie retreat in Atlanta this year. And it was absolutely life-changing for all of us. You know, it's not just for the people that participate. It's also life-changing for the leaders. And I had one of my BFFs, Dave Albin, there. And I had my co-host, Christy Garcia. And then I had all these amazing people. Well, one of the things that we talk about is all of us have this tendency to wait for someone to come be our hero. And I told some of my background story, and that I had waited a very long time for someone to come and rescue me, until I finally realized I needed to get up out of the dirt and be the hero of my own life. And so each one of them had made a presentation to us, to our group, and most of them were totally afraid of what they were scared to death of the judgment, because that's how we are, is we're so afraid of what somebody else is going to think of us. And they all got up and did it. And to me, that ranked them as superheroes, because they overcome that fear. And I think sometimes we all would choose, if we didn't have revelation, we'd just choose to stay in that place of fear, because it's almost comfortable, which is really not a good thing, but it is comfortable to be in fear because we're so used to it. Whereas if we get out of our comfort zone and walk over in that place that's a little bit scary and stand there afraid, do it afraid. But we do that, then we can become the heroes of our own lives and those around us.
I love that. That's so pure. Your heart just shines, Kim. And I think the last question I had for you was about, I had read somewhere that you do masterminds with your different online courses. Can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes, ma'am. I actually have masterminds around the world. We have groups of between 10 and 20 people in one mastermind. And really it's a giant collaboration. It's definitely a process that I have like created a recipe, I will say, for as far as, you know, you have to have certain things to be in the group, and then you have to have certain things that you do during the group. And we're very intense. We have a lot of fun, but I don't play. Like, business to me is about serving and your influence, and you have to guard your influence. So I am definitely an influencer of influencers. I say this all the time because I have had the privilege to run these masterminds in particular and pour into some pretty high level people who are out changing the world. Some of them are in the medical field, some of them are in the legal field, some of them are actually in politics. I mean, there's like several arenas that these masterminds fall into. And I feel like that's my best gift. My best way to serve is to empower them, you know, to empower them to serve bigger. Because then if I can help them serve bigger, I mean, there is no limit. It's limitless what can happen in this world.
That's beautiful. Can anyone get in that, or do you hand pick the people? How does that part work with your mastermind? Because I'm thinking I want to apply for that.
Well, I since this video is not going to go out yet, I will say that we are in the works with a brand new one that I'm actually sold out until 2020 for the masterminds.
Oh, wow.
And it is an application process. It is definitely, I have one mastermind that's an invite only. And you have to be like, you have to really be committed, because if you want me to show up, it's kind of like your house, you know, until you're ready to really, really believe that, it's best just to leave me over here and leave me alone. Like,
I get that.
Because I do get in their business and I do hold them accountable, and and that's what they pay me for. But
well, I'm claiming it now. I want to be with you in one of them, because I get how powerful and potent you are, and I want more information whenever we have time for you to share that with me. I want to know about your mastermind, because I'm reading all these classes. Where do I start? How do I turn your book into a business? Meta mindset. I mean, I was fascinated just with the titles of some of your classes, and you have about more than 10 classes here that or workshops I didn't even know about. So I want to know more, Kim, and I just love you as an interviewer, as a teacher, as a friend. Thank you for praying over me all these times. I'm praying over you also. I just want to make sure you knew that.
I appreciate it. And thank you. I think you're amazing.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to do an interview with you. Let me know if we are, 1 minute over time. How's that?
We have 1 minute left. I have the timer set.
Okay. So I can ask you a question?
No more than 5. We are like.
I got maybe 7 in there.
Did you trick this princess?
No, it was just a question that came off the first question. It was related to that question.
That's funny. Well, thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing your work in the collaboration class, because that's what makes it so powerful, is everybody showing up and doing the work. So I appreciate you.
Well, I love being here a second time, and we'll see what happens. Maybe third time around too.
Never know, right?
I never know with you, Kim. I never know what I'm going to be invited to do.
Right.
Keeps it exciting.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much.